All right, top Billin and Falcons fans, back at it. You know I'm excited to draft this week. And man, I'm still in the lab cooking up some of that stuff for you guys to really fill your brain and really go outside of yourself and really think about scheme-specific needs when it comes to the draft, right? So I like to break down exactly what the position of need entails and the type of players that really fits that scheme. So I'm talking about the off-the-ball linebacker. A lot of guys hit me up talking about they want an off-ball linebacker, which definitely makes sense with the departure of Devondre Campbell. I was a big Devondre Campbell guy, understood the position that he was playing, and this is a tough-ass position to play in this particular scheme. So a lot of guys just like to drop personnel into scheme, not even really thinking about fit. So got to find somebody to do what Devondre Campbell does, right? And remember, this is the Seattle Seahawks scheme popularized over there out in the Pacific Northwest. This particular position is a mother, right? This is the KJ Wright position. The reason why I say that is because it is a true outside linebacker position. Although it can be labeled sometimes as a closed side formation player, there's plenty of times where you're playing on the open side of the formation and you'll be asked to be a chase down player, but you have to have the ability to take on blocks, stack and shed blocks, work through traffic, sift, and you have to be able to turn around and run with tight ends and man coverage. Like, we saw Devondre Campbell do a lot of that, and he struggled at times doing just that, and it's something that KJ Wright has pretty much excelled at throughout his career, and there's certain attributes that you look for in a linebacker to really try to hone in on that. So, in keeping up with guys who may be available, we're talking about a value-type pick, meaning a guy like Kenneth Murray, to me, is a better overall prospect than Jacob Phillips, but not by much, for real. Jacob Phillips is that dude, right? And Jacob Phillips may be a better scheme-specific fit, and he's somebody you can get maybe in the second round, and then you could go for your corner in the or safety or whatever in the first round, and you can flip it like that, right? Or if you were to go with Kenneth Murray, then you would have to try to find a corner that is somewhat as good as the guys that fit your scheme that you could find in the first round, like a C.J. Henderson. So it's all about draft value, and it's about a strategy.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, let's look at the pre-draft measurables right here. You got KJ. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Let's go. All right, back. Check it out. All right, so your man KJ Wright was 6'3", 246 pounds, right? So nearly a 250-pound linebacker. He ran a 4.75 40. Did 20 on the bench, 120 in the broad. His 20-yard shuttle time was a 4.46 there, right? 3 cone, 7.26. So a fairly good athlete, more of a mental guy, but where he excels at is he can play in traffic. It's not a thing for him to take on blocks from linemen and fullbacks or whatever like that and discard the trash and get to where he needs to get to, which would be the ball carrier. All right, the great Kenneth Murray. Obviously, this is going to stand out to people. A 4.52 40-yard dash for a guy 241 pounds at 6'2", 129 in the broad, a 38-inch vert. Went 21 on the bench press and didn't do the shuttle drills, right? The agility type drills. So that's kind of interesting right there. I would love to see him change the direction like that and see if he's much more than kind of a straight line speed guy. So somebody probably advised him not to do it, or maybe he got injured or something like that. I forget exactly what happened at the combine. But, hey, man, I can tell you everything about Kenneth Murray. I've done a couple of film studies on him, but covered Oklahoma for a little bit there. And the guy is a hell of an athlete. Hell of an athlete, but I must say this. I believe he is very much what exactly Deion Jones is. And does he fit someone who can play on the close side of somebody's formation, right? Not much of a trash player, not good at taking on blocks or anything like that. But if he's covered up, he's going to be hell on wheels. He's a guy that can get you 170 tackles or some crazy shit like that from the weak side. All right, I've been around Jacob Phillips in camp settings. When I worked at Rivals.com, Jacob Phillips was at our 5-star challenge and ended up earning his 5th star. So he's a 5-star recruit that looked like he was headed to, I want to say, Oklahoma. Yeah, he was headed to Oklahoma, and then at the last minute he switched it up to LSU. Did really good for himself there. So he comes with a lot of publicity to him, at least coming into college, and I think he's more than lived up to it, right? For some odd reason, like when you're on the scene too long or whatever like that, people start to forget about you. Patrick Queen came on late and kind of surpassed him, but I don't believe Patrick Queen is a better player than Jacob Phillips by any stretch of the imagination here. But check this out. Really good athlete, man. A 39-inch vertical leap from this kid, 126 in the broad. He ran into the 20-yard with a 4.33. That's faster than Jerry Jeudy ran this shit. So think about the change of direction right there. And he ran a 4.6 40-yard dash. And we saw KJ Wright ran a 4.7 40-yard dash. And he's also 6'3", so he has a little bit of length to him, 10-inch hands. Jacob Phillips is that dude, and he is actually more like a Devondre Campbell. All right, here we go. You see Devondre Campbell right here to the close side of the formation, usually working where the tight end is, right, which is close side of formation. You got Deion Jones here, who is your chase down backer, right? He's your guy that's meant to be sideline to sideline. You want him covered up. You don't want him playing above any uncovered guards or anything like that. You always want to have him to where he can roam free and chase. As you see here, discard the block, hit LeGarrette Blount, force a fumble in the Super Bowl there. Right? Usually having to play with some type of trash. Sometimes you're the uncovered guy there. The guard gets out on him, but he's able to work with it, stop LeGarrette Blount, make a play. All right, flip that on over to KJ Wright, the Seattle Seahawks. We see him turning and running with the tight end. I think this is going to be in vogue, right? With these 12 personnel type teams, going to get these guys matched up, and you can easily scheme the Falcons the same kind of way, get them matched up on tight end. So whomever this guy would be that the Falcons select to replace Devondre Campbell. And we've seen Devondre Campbell in these situations, and more times than not, it looks just like this. Tough assignment there with some of these tight ends if you're a linebacker. That's why they like to get safeties out on tight ends. All right, most of you guys should be aware of what Kenneth Murray is all about here throughout this draft process, because I know you guys have been taking it in here, but it's what he is, man. He's a run and chase backer. You leave him in space, nobody has the type of speed that he has. Maybe Isaiah Simmons does. Him and Isaiah Simmons very similar in that aspect, but look at that, man. Back barely get out into the formation on the swing pass before he ran him down. Look at that. That is some crazy, severe speed. Definitely something that people would love to see out there in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But, man, you got to think, with him and Deion Jones, that would be the fastest linebacking duo that you could possibly ever put together. No doubt about it. As fast as Kenneth Murray is, Deion Jones is probably a little faster. All right, don't get it twisted. Jacob Phillips can shoot gaps as well. He's a very explosive player. We see him running down Damian Harris here on a sweep. Not on his watch. Solo tackle on Harris right there. Got a little bit of assist, but that was his job right there. All right, you can see him working tandem with Patrick Queen here. Now, you can see why the duties are a little bit different, why Phillips may be a little bit harder, as he's more of the Devondre Campbell, KJ Wright of their team. He's the hammer while Patrick Queen is the nail. You see him right here, got a pulling lineman, squeezing down on him. All right, you see him absorb that, meet the contact, get a full extension in his arms. Now, you look at that, right? He's battling right here. That keeps Patrick Queen clean. That's what Patrick Queen needs to work with, too. He's a 6-foot guy. He's a run and chase backer, very much in the mold of a Kenneth Murray. But he gets there. Jacob Phillips sheds the block, and he's in on it as well. There's nothing but a thing for him to work off blocks. All right, here's one of the better examples that I can think of Murray having to stack and shed a block. Now, he doesn't fully get it as far as stacking it, but you can see what he's about here, right? So think about this. This is what a lot of these teams do with these chase backers, right? They'll pull weak side runs on you, right? They used to do that to Roquan Smith a lot, but you can see him approaching right here. Got a pulling lineman. He does a good job of kind of getting skinny and getting half a man. Discards that. Not necessarily discards it, but he gets off the block, which is good enough, and makes the tackle for no gain. So I really like that play by him, but those are few and far between. All right, we're going to have a lead zone right here. You're going to see the right guard combo up to Jacob Phillips, and he does a good job of skirting around the block. He's not really worried about traffic, so he plays it almost if traffic is not there. See that right there? Guard trying to fan him off. He does a good job of feeling, breaking down in space, getting a solo tackle on Dev Whaley here. Great job of feeling. Gap and fill. All right, working from the stretch, you can see Kenneth Murray's ability to get past the block, right? If he's working outside, look at his speed. He's able to damn near set the edge, get past the block, and rise with a bang on Chris Curry there. Check this out. Not necessarily having to take the block head on, but on a stretch play working outside, he can just get around the block, use his speed. Love that play. All right, here's an example of having to take on a block rather than skirting around it and how Kenneth Murray kind of gets hung up on blocks. Going to have Jedrick Wills here, top 10 pick perhaps, comboing up to the second level. Meets Kenneth Murray head on. What you want to see from Murray right now is to extend those arms and discard the block either way, try to get off the block here. You got Josh Jacobs coming downhill. But if you see here, he's still on the block. Josh Jacobs gone now. Still working with it. I'm still over here battling. Still hung up right. Still frictioning right there with Jedrick Wills. Really not his game at all, but doesn't need to be, right? That's a style of play. It does not mean that you're not a good player. It's just a certain style of play that certain linebackers have. Most of the linebackers in the league these days do not have the ability to discard blocks. So it's really nothing. But on a strong side, close side formation player in a scheme like the Falcons run or like Seattle runs or San Francisco, you got to have guys who are not worried about blocks and can discard them with the best of them. All right, we see Jacob Phillips here showing his football intelligence. Not worried about the jet action there. Coming downhill, corralling the quarterback for a loss on the play. Guy just understands football, man. All right, so there you have it. Most of you guys should know about these players already. This is super late in the draft process with it being a couple of days from now. I just wanted to really show the duties and show that there's different ways and different strategies of going about your business. It depends on what you value the most and how you value that, right? So like I said before, if you were to get Kenneth Murray, who I would say is the better prospect just from an athletic standpoint, they're very similar to me as far as football players with football intelligence, if not Jacob Phillips having a little more in that category. Jacob Phillips a little bit more lengthier and able to play in traffic, with Kenneth Murray just being a sideline blur, but much like a Deion Jones. So is that redundant to have Murray and Jones? Can Murray actually field a close side formation player, or is he best served on the weak side? We know Jacob Phillips can do it. At least I do. That's exactly what he plays at LSU. So if that's the case, and if you feel like you can get Jacob Phillips in the second round, which more than likely you can, then you would be able to go ahead and get your third-level player that you probably need just as much as a second-level player. So it's just about that. But then again, if you feel like Murray is that guy, then it'll be maybe somebody like an A.J. Terrell from Clemson as a cornerback, somebody that you would look towards. So it's endless possibilities out there. But I just want to keep in mind with the scheme-specific fits because that's how it works, all right? But as always, I thank you. Real men watch to the end. I had a long one here, setting the table and everything like that. Can't wait for the draft. Like I said before, I might do a live stream during the draft for a couple of days, and we can see what's going on there. Not exactly for sure, but we can set it up. Just let me know what you guys want, all right? But with that being said, you already know what time it is. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Comment. Let me know something else you want to see if I can get it done before the draft. Some other prospect of one of these teams that I covered that I know very well, and we can get it done like that. But it's your boy Murf, the Underground King, top Billin Sports, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.